guys in?
Yeah. Capital A.
No, sure.
The one thing that
Yes.
so when Keisha is coming.
Okay.
So you may have
If it is
to,
a capital A and lower.
somebody may have to like go get.
Okay. We can do that.
I told the guy that we all had, I told him to ask the security guy downstairs to let them in. So they should just let them up here. And then-
Let us in.
No, eventually we're gonna.
He's very nice.
And then if they get up here, then they said they would.
Is there anybody else coming?
No, Sarah's not coming now. I don't know. So
The one I'm not sure about.
No, you guys all.
So I looked at this.
Zoom.
I may not use it, but I'll look.
But I like. Someday I'll learn how to do the note.
The one I woke it up, we got to put our regular password in again, once she told us.
Yeah. Capital
Why
A,
don't you change it?
B, A, 1, 2, 3.
Don't go, you're going too fast for it.
Yeah.
I'm in. Are you in yet?
Where you at, Slowpoke?
I think it doesn't like me.
You gotta do it 7 times before it lets you in.
Shoot.
Capital A.
The first 3 numbers come from us, or 4 numbers.
Man. Another keyboard has connected to this device.
Yeah.
Whatever that.
Somebody start typing and see which one.
It's going through
What's up with
the
this, Frank?
last one.
I know now it's raining left.
Oh, yeah, sorry, Rain had to run to Sarah Hicks'
Turn around
office.
like giving you looks. I'm like, oh wow, I was super kind. And not obvious
You're
at all.
really hard. Rain and Don went on
How did
an
you do
errand.
What'd you do? What do you mean, how did I do that?
Do we need?
You just put a whole bunch of stuff
No,
in
they
there.
were talking about how they didn't have
Password.
Raina to
Oh.
do that.
So look at the keyboard locked on his tablet.
Oh,
You forget, I'm in that generation that I wasn't born into it, I had to learn into it at a young age.
Mine is.
It's a battery.
And then with having, and then it's like having one hand inoperable during like typing my thesis stuff. And when you learn how to type quite a bit like this.
You gotta go over there now.
Find your seat.
Oh, okay. All right, we're good. I don't need to move some of that.
You take that.
I had to go put a little makeup on, so I didn't have any.
No blemish.
Most important thing was.
No chatty stuff, Mal.
Look good. God, Bill, just sitting between these 2 guys makes me look good. Yeah. Dang.
Between the 2 ugliest fellas ever. Do we wait for Sarah Alex to come?
Don't know. Well, it's probably, she won't get on until exactly 1, I bet.
We cannot do anything without her. Yeah. That came from the boss.
That one.
Mhm.
everything.
I don't wear
was-
Hey Wendy, how are you? We're gonna use you to test our audio. You could say something again. I think I had you turned down.
Unmute.
See there? 5 minutes. I have enough coming in.
And you're here,
And I'm
waiting
here
for it.
way ahead.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't have been if Deborah hadn't called me and said, are you almost here? I just left the house. I was gonna, I left early enough to do some things on the way.
Hi,
I
Brett.
did the same thing,
Hi there.
short.
Just the
Sound
audio.
works.
Yay.
I think it'll like 5 minutes. Don't do any good. 30, 40 miles to go from where it's supposed to be.
We're on.
Hello.
Yep.
Good afternoon, everyone. John Richardson here.
John, good to see you.
You're on mute.
You're off mute.
Sorry.
Good to see you, John.
Oh, hey, John.
Hey, John. Okay, so it is 1:00. I do believe that all parties are here, so call the meeting to order, 1:00. Do the member roll call. Brent McBride. Here. Thank you. Bill Dunn.
Present.
Tim Grandy.
Present.
Ray Martinez. Present. Derek Knight. Present. Sadie Lister.
President.
Claudette Haverfield.
President.
I am here for Area 8, Frank Trent. NRCS, Ms. Tatum. Welcome. Good to see you. Happy New Year.
Thank you. Happy New Year.
State Forester John Richardson, you here?
Present.
Thanks, sir. Department of Ag, Paul Brierly, are you here?
I'm here.
Thanks, sir. Arizona Game and Fish, Clay Crowder, are you here?
Present.
Thank you. We have established quorum and all members present. First item of business is minutes approval. We'll do the first one on October 30th, 2025. Looking to approve the minutes.
Sure.
Mr. Knight,
Motion to approve minutes presented October 30th, 2025.
first motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Mr. Dunn, seconds. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Unanimous approval. Next item is October 30th executive session minutes. Do I hear a motion to approve?
Sure.
Mr. Knight,
Motion to approve October 30th executive session minutes is listed on the agenda.
thank you. Do I hear a second? Second. Mr. Martinez, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All those opposed? Hearing none, unanimous approval. Next item is item D, call to the public. At this time, we'll have 2 minutes for anybody that wants to be recognized from the public. Okay. Seeing nobody wants to be recognized, we'll move on. If there is anything that you want to be directed, please direct it to staff and we'll put it on future agenda items. Next item is item E, director's update. First item on that is fiscal year 2026 appropriation. Ms. Deborah Smith.
This is where we do a huge shout out of love and support to your Attorney General's representative, Ms. Sarah Hicks. Yay, go team.
Thanks, Sarah.
Thank you, Sarah, for all that hard work. Miss Sarah pulled off the, I just couldn't figure out because I couldn't get it done and she did. So you all now have the money transferred over from state land to the NRC board account. So it's there. And the amount of money that you have available. So it turns out that the money rolls in by the quarters. Okay, it's not all up front in the annual. So your 100,000 for your administration, it's there. Your 250,000 for the water recharge project is there. And as of right now, you have $552,652 available to distribute to the districts. Of that amount, 30,000 is appropriated for education centers. Now, after the next quarter rolls over and the other funding comes in, you'll be able to make a motion in the future, you know, to review putting that money out as well. So that was my report, but we definitely wanted to say a huge thank you to Miss Sarah because it wouldn't have happened without her. Trust me.
Thank you, Ms. Hicks, and your work out of the attorney's office. Appreciate the efforts. Next item is item 2, conservation districts.gov email system.
So Raina was able to get them all created with the IT department. And then Brooke has been slowly but surely working her way through all of the districts, helping those folks that needed that support to get onto their .gov emails. They now have their established Google Drive as well, where all of their documents, legal documents, and everything that they're working on will be stored. There are, Raina had created videos of instruction on how to use it, how to log in, and how to store documents. And Brooks is making sure that people actually have gotten in there and get the support and help they need to actually access those drives. We still have a handful that have not been able to get in yet or get established. We're working on that. And I believe that by the end of February, everybody will be up and running, hopefully sooner than that. And then what we'll do is officially roll over to doing all of our correspondence with the districts using their .gov emails. And then we'll start sharing that information out with all of the partners that utilize, that have communications with districts. We'll share that new email list. Does anybody have any questions for me regarding all this? Okay.
Okay. Next item on the updates is the election.
So you have in your packets the election documents and guidance. It is derived from your current new statute. That's where this is coming from, not the older statutes that were being used previously. So, and the board has to have newly approved documents to move these elections forward. Some of the dates that where documents were required were not in the statute. So those are being adopted by this board as ruling, as an order of rule. And so they're inside of each of those documents and it's called out. If it's statute, it's statute. If not, it's called out as an NRCD rule that if you so desire, you will be adopting today. And then all of the supporting documents for the elections are in the packet as well. Were there any questions? Yes, sir.
Are you asking us to adopt those rules right now?
No, under actions later
Okay.
on,
Okay.
you would be adopting.
Okay.
This was an opportunity for you all to ask me any questions about that packet if you had any.
I see. Okay.
And just to report that, I had created
Sure.
what I was told to do, which is to create the packet for you all. And so it was all derived by your statute.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Next item is groundwater recharge district proposal.
So in your fee bill for FY26, one that they had put in $250,000 for a groundwater recharge project, and the language in the bill was very specific as to where this project was to be done. And there's only one conservation district that is within the boundaries. There's a little bit of a second one, but not in a recharge area. So the district that is in that language in your bill, in your fee bill, is the Wilcox San Simon district. So they have prepared a proposal for you guys to review. I attached it to your packet so that you all could review it and determine, later on under motions and considerations, et cetera, whether or not you want to go ahead and fund them and move that money forward.
No, it's not good.
No.
This one, this not.
No, it's in your packet it's a proposal. It says Wilcox
Yeah.
groundwater recharge basin tool.
Okay. And we can talk about that later.
Yeah, if there was any questions about it, I just didn't know. I just wanted to report that they had put their proposal in and that for consideration for you all, and just if you guys had any questions for me on the project. But your entire team reviewed the project and it follows statute requirements of what the money can be used for and stays within budget.
Yeah, go ahead. Miss Tatum.
Yes, I do have a question about the project. So you said this project stays within the statutory funding that was provided specifically for it.
Yes.
So there is no additional funding needed to complete the project.
Not at this moment. Part of that funding is being used for the, the engineering study to make sure they're doing it right. And they may need more money after they do that, but they can at least do the repair. So they've been working with the Natural Resource Conservation Services office in the area, which is, Team 8. So, Humphrey and, Chase Starr have been working with them. And so they know for sure 2 of the areas that need repair, or 3, 2 ponds that need repair and clean out. And then one is an actual structured dam that needs repair that was built back in 1940s, original. And so we're waiting to find out if there's more that's needed for that area to keep everything from flooding and to help with the recharge effort and everything that was in the statutory language of what they wanted. But it said repair and recharge. So yeah, they may need more money, but they can at least spend the $250 on the initial bit and get the study and figure it all out. And they do have the original NRCS study, but it was like 1950s. I can't remember the exact year from that study.
Okay, anybody else have any questions? Okay, NRC Board Annual Report.
So in your statute, you are required to submit a report to the governor's office and the legislature every January. And so this is just supposed to be based on what you all have accomplished so far. And you guys kind of had a short year because even though you started in January 1st, you actually didn't get seated officially and appointed until the end of May. And so but everything that you have accomplished so far was in that drafted report. If there are any questions about the report or anything you all want added that wasn't in there, any edits, etc., I'm here to answer questions on that.
Anybody have any questions at this point? Go ahead, Mr. Dunn.
I just want to say what a good report it was.
Oh,
Thank you. Excellent report. I
much
thought.
appreciated. I had team help, so thank you.
Anybody else? Okay, last item under E.
Are 2 legislative House bills that are out there right now that mention the Conservation Board. And so I just wanted to bring it to your attention. There's no action from you all, of course, but just to keep you informed of what's happening legislatively. I have my notes here. I want to make sure I get this right. So House Bill 2117 is language cleanup inside of the original statute that governs the board and the conservation districts. And basically, the governor's office requested that some language cleanup who appoints which region, because originally it just said, 4 areas will be appointed by the governor, and then 2 from the House and 2 from the Senate, but it didn't say which regions. And they wanted the language to spell out so that every year there wasn't a discussion. Well, who's doing this one? so that language is being cleaned up. There was a mention of the state land department still within this original statute that just didn't get caught and removed. And so they're removing that name and replacing it with the state board. And they also are putting in a request that the funding that comes out of the special license plate fund for the education centers. Right now it says that you as a board, if you receive funding, can give up to $5,000. But if the license plate fund generates more money, which it might, then this language says you could then give them up to $10,000. And that's the changes that are on the table right now with House Bill 2117. The other legislative bill that's out there that mentions you is House Bill 2053. And it is a House bill that requires the Arizona Department of Water Resources and the Natural Resource Conservation Board to work together. So it would be giving you guys something to do. So I wanted to make sure that you all knew that it was in there. And it says that the Arizona Department of Water Resources is working on a report that identifies potential water storage sites and underground water storage sites and for recharge and for water, right? And so you all, it says it will direct the Arizona Department of Water Resources to, within 180 days of the effective date of this act, cooperate with an agriculture improvement district and the Natural Resource Conservation Board to provide an updated map of potential stormwater recharge sites in the state that do not conflict with existing surface water rights. So you'd be working with them and approving this report that's going. So once again, no actions that can, are being taken by you all, but I just wanted to make you aware that you are being mentioned in legislation.
And that is 2053.
Yes. Any questions on any of those legislation bills? Deborah, do you know if those storage sites are going to is that initially started under ADWR, or is that mapping that they've already done across the state?
I was unclear from reading the statute if they've already, it kind of indicated like they are working on one or they have one and they're updating it. I'm not sure, but I could find out for you and report back.
Just keep, I think, updates. We need to report back anytime soon. Mr. Dunn.
Mr. Chair, I've seen a map, and I was looking for it, of these recharge sites across the state, because I saw some in our district, and I was just wondering, did NRCS do any of that? Did you know of?
Not that I know of.
Okay, I don't know where it's.
I think ADWR is in charge of it.
It's
So
probably the state.
yeah, so it's
Not
their
the federal government.
probably. But now they're being directed to work with the agriculture district and with you all to make sure that they got it right, that it's right. So yes, which is a good thing. The board will be actively working with ADWR. Another great partner for this board.
Do you know that in the legislation, if it is just a broad scope of this board of working with ADWR on those tasks, or is there any specific direction for us?
No, it just directs them to cooperate with an agriculture improvement district and the NRC board.
Mr. Brierly, you have a question?
Mr. Chair, I do. Just curious with these three, I guess, the two bills and the groundwater recharge funding. I'm just curious who in the legislature is running these. Is there something we should know about, any background of someone that's supporting us, or yeah, just curious.
Yes, sir. It is Representative Griffin.
For all
Did you
these.
hear that? Did you hear that?
Yes, sir.
Brierly?
Yep. Thank you.
Anybody else have any comments or questions? Okay. With that completes item E. Moving on to item F. Attorney General's Office update pursuing to MOU with Arizona Corporation Commission. Ms. Hicks, you have the floor.
Thank you, Frank. Okay, so I wanted to provide some feedback and advice regarding the potential of entering into an MOU with the Corporation Commission. My first piece of advice would be for the board to form a subcommittee to essentially help develop the documentation and to bridge the gap between the NRCB and the ACC. I do have a contact on the line siting committee, and I do believe I could arrange a meeting with a representative of the names board to feel out the potentiality of entering into that MOU. And unlike some of the legislation, and we're looking, I think, for coordination rather than cooperation, so that there would actually be an entry in the line siting that would require these renewable energy companies to coordinate with the conservation board and the specific district that's impacted to ensure that they're doing everything they can to manage the land appropriately. So if the board is interested in perhaps at the next meeting, or yes, I think at the next meeting, taking volunteers to form a subcommittee to develop this MOU. I also have some paperwork that Mr. Dunn kindly provided regarding essentially a coordination agreement that he was able to enter into through his district, and I believe Reddington as well. And so my thought is that we would put all of this documentation together to review and look at, and for that subcommittee to start to develop an MOU and to make a contact with the Corporation Commission to discuss whether this is something that they would be open to. And essentially, I think we would develop a proposal and take it in front of the Corporation Commission during one of their open meetings. I think that's the best way to do it in a transparent manner and allow the board to develop the language in collaboration with the commission, if this is something that they are interested in collaborating with the board on. So that would be my recommendation. I don't see any legal barriers to entering into an agreement if both entities are interested in doing that. And just as a support to the board, as you enter into this subcommittee, I would work with the subcommittee and I would be happy to provide sort of a boilerplate MOU that they could then take and develop the language in to reflect what they're actually looking for from the Corporation Commission. And I can also assist in setting up the meeting with Adam Stafford, who is at the Attorney General's office, and he is on the line siting committee. So whatever you guys need from me, I just want to make sure that I'm taking direction from the board and doing the things that the board needs me to do.
Okay. Miss Deborah.
Miss Sarah, so I know that committees hold their meetings and they're public. So if they go to meet, I know a meeting with you, of course, would be public, but when they go to meet with this individual, does that have to be set up as a public meeting as well, or is that consultation?
I think that would be a consultation. So what I envision is that the subcommittee would form and essentially have and that person works with the subcommittee to have an idea of what the board is what kind of agreement they're looking to enter into. And then I think I could arrange a meeting between that chair and a representative from the line siting committee to discuss essentially how to approach the proposal with the board or with the commission. And then the chair could take that information back to the subcommittee, get the information they need, or put together some kind of package or proposal for the commission, and then allow that to move forward. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yes. Thank you. I just wanted to clarify before we start, as we set up.
Yes, and the subcommittee meetings are also open meetings.
Right.
So we would just need to make sure that we notice and agendize and then provide minutes of what happens at the meetings.
Okay, thank you.
Great, thank you. Anybody else have any other questions? Okay, Ms. Hicks, do you have anything else you would like to present?
Nothing additional at this time, but I'm happy to field any questions.
Thank you very much. Okay, moving on. Item G on the agenda, Conservation District merger proposal. First item is Triangle and Wickenburg.
So previously you all received at the last meeting the proposals as well as the maps. We can throw the map back up. So we're going to throw up the map real quick so you can look at it again. And here is, the board did not indicate last time that they did not direct, you all did not direct me to ask the districts to change their proposal or edit it in any way. So it stands the same. And so now this is just another opportunity before you go asking for public comment and for any of you to ask me or any other questions about the proposal.
Yes, Mr. Martinez.
I have a question on that small southeastern portion.
Right.
Was that any clarification on what we were going to do with that?
The board could, when they do their motion and vote, they could accept the proposal and then attach that other portion to Parker Valley if they so choose, or if they don't, it will just hang there until if you all in Parker Valley decide you want to go out and do the same thing. But it's my understanding that the board can actually make the decision. And
At today's meeting.
under the voting section,
Yeah,
not
now
here.
later.
The reason being was, brought that up was because the fact is that it is now within the boundaries of the, Colorado River Indian Reservation. And Parker Valley covers that area.
Which is why the district chose to do the math the way they did. They were respectful of that and said, this really belongs with Parker Valley.
Okay. Anybody else have any questions on this?
Do we have an existing map of how it stands now?
You bet, we can pull it up off of the website. Oh, they're on there. Yeah, you can see the black lines.
That's the
Is that,
next one. Go back.
go
You
back.
go-
Yeah, this is the other. Yeah, there you go. So you can see the existing boundaries. This was Wickenburg. Right on here. And that's what he was saying, that there's this little portion right here that is actually tribal lands now. And that's why they cut it out of the Wickenburg merger map.
All right. Yeah, so that's the current as it stands right now.
Yeah, and here's the divider between Triangle
Yeah.
and Wickenburg. You see the black line? That's the divider right now between Triangle and Wickenburg.
Okay.
And then you see the district that you are from, Buckeye Valley, down there, that's your border.
Miss Tatum,
Well, I'm not sure I understand. Are we saying all of the blue would be triangle?
Yes, ma'am.
So no, there's no Wickenburg?
Wickenburg's producers will now be a part of.
Okay, I just want to understand what's
Yes,
happening.
ma'am. Mhm.
But that also then will alter the line for Parker Valley, correct? Meaning Parker Valley NRCD would go into that
cross I.
little piece. Okay, just want to make sure. So it's their boundary will be impacted.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
But that's why the district, when Triangle did the proposal, that's why they did that, because they were respecting that it was tribal lands. I think when the original boundaries were formed way back, it wasn't tribal lands at the
Right.
time. And so there are some Wickenburg producers in the area that, of course, the Triangle folks have spoken with them and everything. And they're very excited to get representation and get help and be able to come to meetings. And so they'll do what other large boards have done when they merge. They'll make sure that there's someone on the board to represent that area, and then they'll move around their meetings and stuff.
Mr. Brierly.
Yeah, thank you. I apologize. I missed the last meeting, so you probably discussed this, but when they combine, are they getting the funding that both districts were getting, or are they now just getting the funding that one district gets?
The funding that one district gets.
So the big pot that goes out to all districts throughout the state will be funneled out to the districts. With this merger, instead of having 42, go ahead.
Yeah, the issue is Wickenburg was not receiving money.
Yeah, because they were,
But it'll
Yeah.
come up later in the next one.
No,
No,
East Maricopa was not,
Same deal.
yeah, they haven't been receiving money either. So in answer to the basic question, Paul, if that district had been receiving money, Wickenburg and Triangle, you're absolutely right, the money would be combined. And so what Frank was saying is correct then, in which case it would just raise kind of the amount for all the districts out there. But Wickenburg didn't have any money to start with, so it's not going to change the amount right now for the districts.
Okay.
Okay. Anybody else? Mr. Knight?
Thank you, Chair. I've got one question, and I guess it could be maybe for you, Ray, or to Deborah, but with that little piece that we talked about that was cut out because it's now tribal ground, has the tribe been in talk with going ahead and being happy to take that little piece of ground?
Well, it's not the tribe, it's the conservation district.
Conservation District.
The conservation district.
it falls.
So
And
has that been a discussion on your board to adopt that little piece of ground?
We haven't brought it up because we didn't know what the status level was here on what we were thinking of doing. But now But now that it's in conversation, I'll be bringing it up to at our next meeting.
So if we were to approve this later on the agenda, that little piece would still be in limbo until our next meeting.
Unless you make them add to the motion that that piece goes to Park Valley. You have the authority to do that if you want, or
We can just say it goes to Parker Valley, whether they agree with it or not.
yes, you can.
Because it's
You,
our bound.
yeah, you guys are drawing the boundary lines as the state board, but and I wouldn't suggest that if we didn't already know that we have an active member on the board that's from Parker Valley and knows that they want to take that portion. So,
Okay, thank you.
I mean, or if the board says, no, I want them to jump through the same hoops, then they can go back and hold 2 meetings about it and you can hold 2 meetings about it. It's up to you.
Mr. Riley.
Yeah, sorry, just thinking through this. So I'm assuming the Triangle board is on board with this?
They're the ones that brought the proposal, sir. And the proposal, I reattached it to the meeting packet for you for today. So they followed the statute. So the statute requires them to hold 2 public meetings regarding it. The first one's just to propose it and decide if they want to go forward and actually take a vote on it and take public comment. And then, so then they did that, and then they formed the proposal. Then they held their second meeting with the proposal and the map, and then invited people from both sides, you know, from everywhere in both sides, Wickenburg and Triangle, to come to the meeting and give public comment on it. They accepted that public comment and then voted to go forward with the proposed merger, then submitted it to you all. And then the statute says you have to hold 2 meetings. So the first one was the last meeting where you guys reviewed the proposal, and then you directed me to move it forward onto for a vote. And so it moved to the next meeting with public comment attached again. So it's just the steps that are described in the statute for a merger.
Okay, yeah, that's very thorough. So was it discussed in any of the meetings that basically, as I read it, there's going to be slightly more money to each district because there'll be fewer districts to divide the pot by, but then this, in particular, the Triangle district will have more than twice as much area to cover with basically the same funding. Was that discussed?
Yes, sir. It came up in every meeting, both district level and at the state board. And so, but in this instance, there won't be slightly more money because Wickenburg didn't ever have any money. So there is no extra, but yes, they did discuss in their public meeting about, and I attended the meeting so that I would be there. And they did discuss how there was no extra funding and they were just taking on more land. And then at the state board meeting, it was discussed that, yeah, they understand, but they believe it's important to give the Wickenburg folks representation and support.
Okay, great. Sounds like you guys have already discussed it. The extra money I was talking about was just the fact that there's going to be fewer districts to divide the big pots. So there'll be a teeny bit more to each district.
Yes, but in this instance, it didn't work because Wickenburg was never getting a slice of the pie. So the pie doesn't change right now because
Okay.
yeah, that's what I was trying to say. Sorry.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir, Mr. Granton.
so the boundary of Wickenburg, the southern boundary, was not altered.
Yes.
Okay.
It doesn't take any of your district away from us, sir. I promise.
That was my indirect question. Thank
You
you.
and Laguna are safe. And so is Agua Fria. No, they followed the Wickenburg boundary. The only section was just this tiny little bit
Yeah.
here because and this map doesn't reflect it, but if you reflected land ownership, you'd see it's this little section is tribal lands now.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Anybody else have any more comments, questions?
Mr. Chair, this is Sarah with the AG's office. I have
Yes,
to
Ms. Hicks.
step downstairs to transfer some documents. Can I join the meeting by phone? Deb, would it be possible at all to just have you have me on your phone on speaker?
Yes, ma'am. I'll call you right now.
Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't want to step away without making sure I'm still listening to everything.
Yep, I'm calling you right now.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, well. Better? I think,
I'm gonna move her over here just so she can make sure to hear you as chair. Okay?
okay.
Because I couldn't put it on speaker to pick up your voice. Because it'll reflect. There you go.
It's not on speaker.
Well, no,
No, you don't want it on speaker.
You don't?
No, because that's what was giving the feedback. And then you want it on mute so that you.
Okay,
hear
Sarah,
that
can you
back.
hear us out here? Okay, well, we'll try the best. If we have any questions, we'll pause. No,
She won't be able to.
had me. Yeah, I
You
can't hear
said put
her.
it on, you-
No, she can't, she won't be able to hear.
No, we can't hear her.
We can't hear her.
That's
So-
what we want.
Now,
So she
now
has,
she can
she
hear
has
us.
to mute her phone.
Now
Okay,
we
yeah.
can't hear her.
So she's
So-
not, you're right.
She's
She does
right.
mute her phone, yeah.
All
You're
right,
right, you're
I
right.
think we're good. So you can hear us.
We're on mute.
Okay,
oh, yeah.
thank you.
I just knew the feedback was happening. I was like, what? No, you don't want to hear.
Okay. Yeah. Technical stuff. Okay, so any other questions on Triangle's merger? No, we're moving on. Okay, hearing none, seeing none, we're gonna move on to the next one, which is Winkleman and East Maricopa. Do you want to brief this one?
Yeah, we could, oh, there's the map. So in this instance, there is a section of East Maricopa that will not be given to anyone because no one wants it at this time. We haven't been able to visit yet with folks from Agua Fria about it, but I am meeting with them next week. And so I'll talk to them then, but Florence Coolidge, Gila River is not active right now. So it could be that Gila River and this section, if it forms into one, we might have enough folks that want to do it. The issue is all of this is tribal lands just about, and the Gila River one has just been inactive all these years, but that's because a lot of the farming is over here, which was in East Maricopa. And those farms, from what I've been able to find out, are, yeah, and if they are active at all, they are being leased out. They're not tribal folks. So, and if you have a lease, you do qualify, but it's going to take some work to take care of that section. For now, though, there are folks that are actively asking for support and asking for to be a part of a conservation district that's active. And so they approached Winkleman, and that section is here. And so they would, so that's the boundary that was selected by Winkleman. And it's in their, it's in their proposal. So they have actual individuals that attend their meetings from that area because East Maricopa wasn't active.
Okay, who was wanting to have discussion?
Also, once again, there is no funding for East Maricopa, so it's not going to change the size of the pie at this,
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have something, Tim?
So on the south side, Florence Coolidge is the only district that abuts it.
Yeah, so Florence Coolidge could absorb it if they wanted. Gila River could if we found individuals interested in reactivating, and or Agua Fria could. So the two boards that literally could vote right now to do it and work on it is Agua Fria or Florence Coolidge. If we found individuals that are interested in Gila River, I was planning to reach out to NRCS folks that work in that area and see if there are people. And then you could bridge the gap and blend these two because mostly tribal land. And that would make sense, right? Right? Isn't there like a big chunk of tribal land?
Yes.
No. Not all of it?
No, no,
No?
no,
Well, I know,
no, it's all private.
is it private?
No, they're state.
That boundary you see for Gila River is the tribe's boundary.
Well, then, because,
The tribe has expanded its boundary and it's not in our document.
well, all I know is that over here, right in here, is all the Gila River, that they've got their casinos and everything.
But that's not Gila River.
What is
That's
it?
Salt River. FEMA.
Salt River, sorry, Salt River, but it is tribal land. All up in
Part
here,
of it.
yeah,
But where you're
Right
heading
here?
right now is the city. It's Mesa. Gila
yeah,
River,
no, that's,
Campbell.
yeah, there's no production going on out there. And then right here, I don't know that what's going on right here. That is mostly state land right there, right?
And they're planting houses.
They're planting houses, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
that's what's growing the most.
Yeah. So I don't know, I mean, we could, but Agua Fria could take the section if they wanted. or Florence could, you know, they could split it between the two. I just haven't had an opportunity to go meet with those districts. What's going on, and yeah, if you look at the actual farming map, there ain't a whole lot going on.
Yeah, that's Santan Valley.
Yeah, there's only like
Yeah.
10 farms.
Yeah,
All right.
Thousands with it.
Yeah.
John, you have your hand up?
Yes, sir. Thank you. Just to educate myself a little bit more on this, when you say that was no funding for East Maricopa, what was the reasoning for that? Were they just not an organized, in a way, or?
They were inactive. And so meaning they were not following statutory authority. They weren't holding their quarterly meetings. They weren't doing their elections. They didn't have a bank account. So at one point in time, the state land department went to issue their check because they'd been issuing it. And then they went to issue it 2 years ago and the bank account had been closed. And when they reached out to who is on record as the clerk administrator for that district, they said, oh, no, I don't have a job with them anymore. It's been a couple of years and no one was, they weren't holding meetings or anything. So like everyone just basically disappeared. So the state land department labeled them as inactive because they never did do the statutory requirements to dissolve. So there are statutory requirements that a district can dissolve if they go through these processes, sort of like the merger processes, but they didn't do that. And since they didn't, legally, they still exist. They just are inactive. And so if you don't have a board, so in the statute, it talks about that. If you don't have a board that is active in the one you're trying to merge with, then you make the motion and proposal to the state board to merge. If there is 2 active boards, there are statutory language that says, well, this is how the proposal is written if it's 2 boards trying to merge into one.
Copy. That makes sense. Thank you.
Yeah.
Does anybody else have anything else they want to comment on?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Brent, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I've got a doctor's appointment. I'm gonna have to pull out here in just a few minutes, but I'm gonna stay on as long as I can.
Okay, appreciate the notice. Anybody else? Okay. Hearing none, we'll conclude that, move on to the next item. Well, at this point, Deborah, there's a spot here for public comment on district merger.
Yeah, that's required in statute.
So at this point, we open it up for public, if anybody want to add to come to the
Yes.
public.
But only on the merger proposal.
Okay, so at this point, board is going to open it up to the public to add in their comments at this point, only regarding the 2 items dealing with district mergers. So if any member of the public has something they want to make comment on, you'll be recognized and have 2 minutes to make comment on. Okay. Thank you for recognizing statute for that public comment period. Okay, now we're moving on to item H, consideration, discussion, and possible action. First item is item 1, and this deals with board direction regarding presentation and outreach. I will entertain a motion to move forward on this item. Mr. Knight?
Mr. Chair, I would make a motion to accept 8 as presented on the agenda under board direction regarding presentations and outreach.
Okay, Mr. Knight makes motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Ms. Haverfield, point of discussion. Okay, does anybody have any discussion on this item? Mr. Knight, you have the floor.
I just asked Deborah to reaffirm what exactly this is because we have it written here, but
Right.
just so it's verbally.
Yeah. Yeah, not everyone was at the last meeting. So at the last meeting, I brought up that it has been requested that I attend certain meetings and legislative committees to explain who you all are, what your statute means, and what you're doing. And so Ms. Hicks said, hey, let's put it on the next agenda so you all can give me the full authority and direction to go do these things as they come up. Because people are curious about you. And that's something that is typical. I don't know if you've been following it, but like, for instance, Chelsea McGuire, who runs WIPA, they asked her to come and speak to the Natural Resource Board Committee. And so she came and went and gave a presentation about her board. So it's the same thing. They just, when you exist, they want to hear about you.
Right. Anybody else? Okay, hearing no more discussion on this, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed, say nay. Hearing none, unanimously passes. Next item is fiscal year 26 state appropriation allocation. I'll entertain a motion to move forward on this discussion.
I make a motion.
Mr. Martinez makes motion to move forward on item A. Do I hear a second?
I'll second that.
Ms. Haverfield, second. Open for discussion. Chair will recognize anybody. Mr. Knight,
Thank you, Mr. Chair. That leaves the money amount blank, written on here. So do we need to add the total money amount, which would be $552,650?
Yes, and then also you need to make a decision how that's going to be allocated, because you do know that in your feed bill, there was an appropriation of $30,000 that has to go to the education centers. So that will need to be added into your motion, and then the rest of the funding, how you want to allocate that. Because it can, it all goes to the districts, but you do have availability within statute, of course, to give up to $5,000 to education centers if you want, or it can all go to the conservation districts and let them move it forward to their education centers as they desire. And this amount, though, the reason why I just need a gross amount from the board so that I can move that forward is because at this time, we're in the process of working with the Arizona Department of Administration and AZ 360 to establish districts into the legal system so they can receive funding. And there's a large portion that are ready to go, but there are some that are still needing to be added, and the tribal districts, we're trying to get them added as well. We're working through the policy department from ADOA funding payment section right now to make sure there's a way to get it all in the system so that those tribes can be paid as well. So I don't know the final amount. So to say, oh, it's 500 and X amount of dollars divided by 36 districts, I don't know the final amount, but we don't want to wait until April to get districts money. You all want to get the money out to them as soon as you can, because they're struggling. They don't get much as it is. So if you guys give me a gross amount and say, hey, get this taken care of based on the number that are legally in the system, then I can move forward and at least get them paid. And then by the next quarter, when you get more funding, there may be a few more districts that have been able to be added on. But right now there seems to be a question, because some of the tribes are saying, the Soil and Water Conservation District are saying that they can't receive money, that it has to go to the tribe, that the statute says it has to go to a Soil and Water Conservation District. So we're working our way through all that. And right now it went to policy to be determined how to handle it. So, but you do have an amount that I've reported earlier that you can spend.
Mr. Knight.
Mr. Chair, thank you. With that information, that I would like to make an amendment to the motion to add the amount of $552,650, with $30,000 a piece going to the districts.
Not a piece,
No, not a piece.
$30,000
$30,000
appropriated.
total going to the education districts, education centers. Correct.
I'll second.
Question.
Okay, hold on. Mr. Knight makes motion. Mr. Martinez second motion. Discussion on the allocation of funds. Mr. Dunn.
Now, does that make it, the total amount 582,000?
No.
No.
Goes the other way.
Other way.
It was 520.
30,000 comes off.
Yes.
Are we saying what we're gonna do with that right now in this motion?
The 30,000 goes to the education centers.
Directly to the.
Directly to the education.
No, it goes to the conservation
No,
district
we-
and then they move it to their, yes.
But
Through the avenues that are set up.
Yes,
Yeah.
through the statutory avenues.
Yeah, because that's the way that I understand
Yeah.
your original motion, that it
Yes.
does not go to the
Goes to the districts that are sponsoring education center. That's what the statute says.
Okay, so you're saying 30,000 to go to statutory direction.
Correct.
Did you have something, Mr. Grant?
No, I changed my mind. Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else have any discussion at this point? Mr. Dunn?
How many ed centers do we have?
We're confirming which ones are actually active right now, and I think we're up to, for sure, confirming 20.
20. So there's gonna be 30,000 divided by 20.
It could be anywhere between 20 and 26, because we're still working on confirming, which is why I was saying, just give me the base amount in here, and as we confirm through the system who's legal, who's not, we can just distribute the funds based on that. So you're saying distribute 30,000 at, per statute to the districts to go to their ed centers that are legal and functioning. Yeah.
So my
Somewhere
question,
between 30 and, or somewhere between 20 and 26 education centers.
okay, so that means
1,200, 15.
1,500, and before they were getting 5,000 apiece.
No, that's a different pot of money, and no money that's from the special plate fund, and your appropriation this year did not appropriate any money from the special plate fund to the education centers. It was appropriated to the conservation district. The only appropriation to the education centers in FY 26 was $30,000.
Oh,
Now, there is a larger amount of money going to the districts this year. That if the districts want to increase funding to their ed center as they see fit,
They can,
they will have that power to do so. Is that correct?
yes. Mhm.
okay.
So
So-
the
Is that
district,
what you're
the
asking?
Yeah,
district can
that-
vote and decide. Yeah.
Trying to figure out where the rest of the money went.
It's still going to the
But
district.
straight to the district.
Yep, and then the
Okay.
district can determine how much they want. Before, you were directed by your administrators to give $5,000. But the appropriation didn't read that way. So now it's up to the district to take their money, and if they want to, they can give up to
Okay.
$5,000.
Okay. In previous years, it
It was
directed.
appropriated
Okay,
specifically,
thank you.
Yeah.
Understood.
and now it's being appropriated to the conservation
Okay.
districts.
Thank you.
Good. Anybody else? Anybody else have any discussion? Okay, hearing none, we are going to vote on the amendment to the original motion, and that amendment is to amend to add the $500,000 amount to go to the districts with the amount of $30,000 of EdSend money. You looking for your phone?
Yeah, because it's got the amount on there. It's
552, 652.
Here, hand that. Okay, do you have that correct in the minutes?
Yes, she does. I just saw it.
Okay, and then with the $30,000 to go to the Ed Center through the districts. Okay, so that's the motion to vote. This is the amended portion of the motion to be voted on at this point. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay.
Ray.
Okay, hold on, there's not that there. So that approved the amendment. Now we are voting on the original, or now the discussion is open for the amended motion. Any discussion on the amended motion? Okay. Hearing none, we'll vote on the amended motion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Passes. So the amended motion for 2 passes. You good on the wording?
Yes.
Okay. Item 3, Triangle and Wickenburg. That is the motion to approve. At this time, I'll entertain a motion to move forward with this item.
I move we approve the proposed merger of Triangle Natural Resource Conservation District and the Wickenburg Natural Resource Conservation District.
Second.
Mr. Grandy makes motion. Mr. Dunn seconds the motion. Open for discussion.
And I
Yes,
have to recuse myself, as Haverfield has to recuse from voting on Triangle.
Okay, Ms. Hatfield has declared that she will remove herself from the motion or from the vote. Any discussion? Okay, hearing none, we'll move forward on the motion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Motion passes. Okay. Next item, yes, Paul.
Sorry, Mr. Chair, I need to step out for a while. I'm going to go off. I don't have any issues with the rest of the items. I was curious on the dates for the meetings. Will those all be at 1 p.m. or do we know?
That was just a proposal based off of setting the quarterly board calendar that the state requested. And so I just based it on how you guys have been meeting for the last couple of times. It was the third, whatever. So
Third.
third Tuesday of every quarter. And so, 1 o'clock or 9, whatever works for the board.
So Ms. Hicks, would I get in trouble by saying is like, we probably should try to keep this time for a little while longer while we're still getting our feet under us at 1 o'clock? Or do I need to wait for a different point in the meeting?
I'm not sure if I understand your question, Frank, but you can set the time of the meeting however you see fit. And if you want to just move that issue up in the agenda and address it while Mr. Byerly is still on with us, that would be fine. 1 o'clock is a fine time to keep. But you can move that part of the agenda up and just address it now if Mr. Byerly has time to stay on with us. Otherwise, we can just update him afterwards of what the board decides to schedule.
Are you good with us updating so that you can get on your way, Paul?
Yeah, that'd be best. Thank you. I just want to
Okay.
get in my calendar. So
Yeah, if you don't mind, we'll let you get on with your day. We'll keep you pursuant on what we find out at the end. Okay?
all righty. Thank you all.
Thank you for joining us.
You bet.
Okay, next item of business is item 4. What?
I was just wondering if you all had decided if you were going to make a motion on the Triangle Wickenburg to include that portion that's been left out for Parker Valley. You can make a motion for that if you want.
Okay, I will entertain a motion.
So moved
Okay, Mr. Dunn, your motion is?
to exclude that portion of tribal lands that was within the Wickenburg NRCD.
And give it,
And yes, and move it into the Parker Valley NRCD.
Okay, I think that works. So I hear a second.
Second.
Sadie is going to get second on this one, Cam.
Yes.
Okay, any discussion on this? Everybody fine with that? Good.
Good.
Okay, hearing none. All those hold on. Oh, Ray, you're gonna have to exclude yourself from this
Oh, yeah.
vote. Good catch.
Mr. Chairman, I exclude myself.
Okay, we recognize the declaration. Okay, all those in favor of the motion for Parker Valley to absorb the little piece of Wickenburg Conservation District, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. The ayes have it. Okay. So we can move on to item 4, the merger of Winkleman and East Maricopa. At this point, I'll entertain a motion. Mr. Dunn,
I need to recuse myself from this vote.
thank you for that declaration. I still need a motion.
Mr. Chair,
Ms. Grady,
I move to approve the proposed merger of the Winkleman Natural Resource Conservation District and the portion of the East Maricopa Natural Resource Conservation District that was shown on the map, and that was in a prior discussion with this group today.
second. Mr. Martinez seconds that. Any discussion on this item? Ms. Tatum?
I'm glad he said a portion because I just want to make sure I understand. So East Maricopa will still exist. That that little part that remains will still be East Maricopa and that will still exist.
Yes, ma'am, it'll still be on the map.
On the books.
Yep.
Okay, I just want to make sure I understood that.
It still will be listed as inactive because nobody dissolved it, and then we will try to resolve the Gila River one being inactive and that portion being inactive and try to fix it in the
Okay.
future. We'll work with the
And the
conservation.
reason I'm asking is because your boundaries impact our boundaries. That's why I'm asking. We will adjust to your boundary stuff.
Okay.
Thank you.
Brooke?
Can you please repeat your motion?
Probably not.
Okay, where are you at? Where are you at?
Connie, move to approve the proposed merger of the Winkleman Natural Resource Conservation District and East Maricopa, but I didn't catch that.
And the portion of East Maricopa
As proposed.
Natural Resource Conservation District
Oh, okay,
as proposed.
gotcha, got it. Thank you.
Per map, or
Yeah.
as proposed.
There's a proposal, yeah,
Yeah.
and it includes it.
Thank you.
Okay, we have a motion and a second was by Mr. Martinez. Mr. Dunn has reclused himself. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. The ayes have it. Thank you, everybody. Item 5, groundwater recharge district proposal. At this time, I'll entertain a motion. Mr. Dunn,
I move that we approve this district proposal.
I need all this language.
Oh,
Sorry, I've been directed that I have to have this language because you're directing me to go do my job and follow
okay, so
through.
just restate your motion. Do you need,
okay. I move that we approve conservation district proposal to use up to $250,000 appropriated for groundwater recharge facilities in fiscal year 26, consistent with Senate Bill 1735, Section 60, and direct the executive director to administer the funds and take all necessary actions to implement the project in accordance with statutory requirements.
Thank you.
okay, Mr. Dunn makes motion. Do I hear a second?
I'll second that.
Ms. Haverfield, seconds. No, okay, floor is open for discussion on this motion. Okay, hearing none, seeing none, we'll move to the vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Okay, the ayes have it. Item 6, election documents. At this time, I will entertain a motion to move forward this item.
Sure.
Mr. Knight,
I'd make the motion to adopt the Natural Resource Conservation District election packet as official rules of the State Natural Resource Conservation Board pursuant to Title 41, Chapter 58, and authorize the executive director to administer, implement, and adopt the rules and forms, including coordinating election notices, filings, eligibility verification, deadlines, district election activities, appointment materials, election records as necessary to ensure compliance with statute and NRCB adopted rules with edits to include adding language to sections 1.1, 2.3, and sections 3.2.
do I hear a second?
Second.
Oh, Mr. Dunn got in there first. Any discussion? Okay. Brooke,
Can you repeat the edits? That's
Sections.
he said,
Section 1.1. Edits in section 2.3 and section 3.2.
Thank you.
any other discussion? Hearing none, seeing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed signify by saying nay. The ayes have it. Item number 7, NRCB annual report to the governor and legislature. I'll entertain a motion to move forward on this item.
I'll entertain a motion to approve the Natural Resource Conservation Board annual report as presented and direct the executive director to submit the report to the governor's office of strategic planning and budgeting and other required recipients in accordance with the IRS subsection 41-6014 Act and authorize the executive director to make non-substantive or administrative edits prior to submission.
Thank you, Sadie. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Mr. Dunn, any discussion on this item? Okay, hearing none, seeing none, we'll move to the vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed signify by saying nay. Ayes have it. Item 8, Arizona Corporation Commission MOU. I'll entertain a motion to move forward on this item. Mr. Knight.
Mr. Chair, in lieu of, Ms. Hicks's, update report on the Corporation Commission, I would move that we set forth to have you appoint a subcommittee, to look at, working with the line sighting committee member that she talked about, or anybody that she can get us an appointment with, and, working forward towards an MOU with the Arizona Corporation Commission regarding renewable energy projects.
You too.
Get that, Brooke?
Let's try.
Approve a subcommittee, okay.
Prove you.
Motion to chairman to appoint a subcommittee to work with line sight employee to develop a MOU.
The Arizona Corporation.
Arizona Corporation Commission.
Regarding renewable energy projects.
Renewable energy projects. Okay, here a second. Second. Mr. Martinez, discussion. Mr. Dunn.
I'd like to amend that motion to, say any, cross boundary, I don't know the right words, projects that come under the purview of the Corporation Commission. Just, not all are renewable energy. Some of them are.
Hold on, slow up on your motion. What? You want to make an amendment?
I'll amendment to strike the word renewable.
Do I hear a second? Do I hear a second? Let's get a second. Second. Mr. Grady, second. Okay, now.
Question is, the wording renewable, identifying as.
Renewable energy, just, yeah, and I would, my amendment just removes renewable, any energy projects that comes under there.
Okay, so the direction was towards renewable, and you want to remove that to just look at all energy.
To look at all their transmission.
All energy and transmission?
Well, that's what we're talking about, transmission.
All energy answers the question. If you just remove the word renewable, that does give the direction.
It will suck in transmission too?
Yeah, that would,
Okay, Mr. Knight.
so just to be clear, that would include, example, natural gas pipelines, things like that, correct?
Yeah.
Any other discussion? Okay. We'll move to a vote. The vote is on the amended portion of the original motion to strike renewable energy from the original motion.
Just renewable.
Renewable and leave energy, excuse me. Okay, that is what we're voting on. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All those opposed, say nay. Okay, the ayes have it. Any discussion on the amended motion? Mr. Knight?
I just want a little clarification from the board, maybe you, Bill, regarding this. I don't want to make it too burdensome with the Corporation Commission. It needs to be fairly straightforward of what we need to have an MOU with them about. So, you know, there are a lot of things I'm sure that come before the Corporation Commission. There's only a small portion of what probably becomes in front of them that we need to really be involved in. I think this amendment leads us to that small portion that we need to. I just want to make sure you all are agreeing with me that it just leads us to that portion that we need to be involved in. Because I don't want to be involved in every single thing the Corporation Commission does.
I don't think you have to.
Well, it'll be everything dealing with energy.
If a district wants to, is interested in it.
Point a subcommittee with line items of MOU. So with that,
MOUs aren't, I mean, they're an agreement between two parties. They're not, anything that you're forced to do.
And ultimately, you all would be reviewing, editing, drafting the MOU after the subcommittee brings it to you. And after they've
Sure.
met with the Corporation Commission,
Yeah.
letting them know what they are willing to do or not do. So you have plenty of opportunity to strengthen that.
Develop it.
Yeah, and develop it.
Okay?
I just don't want to put such a workload on us that we may not be able to get that done.
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, and definitely, if you would be just like any other, anytime the Corporation Commission does notify their cooperators or coordinators on something, they don't all come to the table. But if they have an issue about it, then they can come forward and say what that is. So I think that's what Mr. Dunn was trying to say.
Mhm.
As long as you have that written rule in there with them and they work together with you.
okay, good,
I'm good.
good. Anybody else have anything they want to discuss on this?
I'm good.
Thank you, Tim. Okay, move to the vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye on the amended motion.
Aye.
Can I ask a question to Ms. Hicks about this motion?
Are you wanting?
She's saying yeah.
Go ahead.
So my question is because the motion says that the chair can appoint these members of the subcommittee. Does it have to be done in this meeting for them to start moving forward? Or does it have to go on an agenda for a future meeting for him to appoint? Or should we have them amend the motion to appoint now? Because I know that a lot of people don't want to wait until April to get started.
Well, I think it's agendized that we would discuss and take possible action on an MOU. My advice is to form the subcommittee. And so if you want to discuss and take action to form that subcommittee now so that you can hit the ground running and maybe have that subcommittee meeting before we meet again, I think that would be fine.
Chair,
Mr. Knight,
my motion was to have the chair assign a subcommittee.
Point.
That's right.
Yeah.
But does he need to verbalize that in this meeting is
so
what
I
I'm trying
need
to
to
find out.
develop the subcommittee now, is what the question was.
That was the intent of my motion.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
So you would appoint someone now while you're still under this agenda.
In the
item.
next
She's approved that.
15 seconds.
So he needs to appoint it now is what I'm trying to get at.
so back to the original vote on the question. We're at does anybody oppose the amended motion? Hearing none, motion passes. Okay, at this time, Ms. Hicks, make sure I'm following this right. At this point, I can appoint a subcommittee for the motion, correct?
Yes.
Okay, at this point, I appoint Mr. Dunn, Mr. Knight. Who else wants to serve on it? Mr. Martinez, Executive Director, I don't know how you're,
I will be supportive. of
okay,
that.
so you're staff, so you're there, so you're not
I'm
in
just
this.
staff,
So
I'm
you
just
three,
there.
Tim, do you want to sit on it?
No, sir.
Okay,
I'll step up.
Ms. Haverfield. Okay, we're gonna leave it at that. Okay, so I think that's all I have. I don't have to have motion or approval of that. I can just appoint.
Correct.
Okay, so directive as follows. You four will come together with staff. You guys will have to meet with Ms. Hicks. You guys will have to have an open forum or an open meeting law committee meeting at some point before the next meeting to start develop a MOU, draft MOU. In which case a draft MOU will be in place and have to come in front of the board for approval before we go to the Corporation Commission. Is that correct? Ms. Hicks?
Yes, and I think if we're able to develop that for review at the next meeting, then the board can review the proposal of the subcommittee and then take action with all of the board's approval. And between now and then, if the subcommittee chooses a chair or a point person to essentially represent the board, to kind of touch base and communicate with the line sighting committee to see, you know, essentially the details of the MOU and how we should record the understanding between the two entities. I think that will help the board to develop the MOU.
Okay. Do I appoint a chair or does the committee do it? Ms. Hicks, do I appoint a chair?
No, I think that the subcommittee can decide at their first meeting.
Okay. Communication with email and staff and you doesn't have to be open meeting related, correct?
No, if there's no
Okay.
meeting happening, it's just a public record. So people can make requests for public records, and that might be the communications between us, unless it's a privilege. Like if you communicate with me, our communications are privileged. They are not produced in a public records request. If it's a meeting of a board or a subcommittee of the board, then it's open meeting. So we have to make sure that we notice, agendize, and that it's open to the public, and that we produce the minutes afterwards. But just single communications between us, that's more of a public record.
Okay, thank you very much.
Does she need to be attending?
Yes.
both meetings?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
So we can set up dates later.
yeah. So you guys comfortable with the committee?
I wanted to
Deborah.
get Brent on there since he,
He bailed, yeah.
yeah.
It's hard, it's hard to catch a guy with a bum knee. Deb, you good?
Yes, sir. Thank you. I just wanted to clarify that before we left, and there were
Right.
questions on when and how you could appoint. So, thank you.
Okay, we're done with that item. We'll move down to the water rights issue number 9.
That was a requested agenda item by Mr. McElbrain. So I think we may have to take.
Okay, I believe we need to table that one, so we'll table that one for the next meeting.
Mr. Chair, can you do that as chair?
I think I
I
can.
need a motion.
Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you, Dan. Motion to table something. Do you need a motion, Ms. Hicks? She's kind of shaking her head like, yeah, go ahead, Derek.
Good, Derek.
I think it can go either way. If you want to take a motion from the board, that would be fine. I also want to just circle back. So did we lose Brierly and McElprague?
Correct.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
so we still have a quorum, but I just want to make the record that we did lose 2 of our original members.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, do you want to make a motion to table that issue, Mr. Knight?
Thank you, Chair, Mr. Chair. If it's required, I will make that motion to table that for the next meeting.
Postpone to a later tight date? Okay, we want
We
to
have a
post,
table, we take it from the table next. Oh, tables on the same meeting? I'll make a motion that we postpone that action item until the next meeting.
better action. Do I hear a second?
Second.
What's the action item?
To
Water right.
water rights,
issue.
still on this page. Bottom right here.
Oh,
That was Brent's deal. He's gone, so
Right.
we're gonna postpone it. Okay, so we have a motion, we have a second, any discussion? Okay,
Frank,
hearing none, well, yes, Ms. Hicks.
sorry, Chair, to interrupt, but I just wanted to find out, in discussion, does anybody have an idea of specifically what the questions are? So perhaps I can do some, work behind the scenes for the next meeting. If there's anything that I need to research or that I can bring to the board, to help inform your decision-making, is there anything I can do? I mean, I can even try to make, my water law attorney here in the office available to the board if the board has specific questions. I just, sorry to interrupt. I just want to make sure that the next time we circle back to that item, we have everything we need.
I'm sorry, man, he did not say, he just said he wanted water rights issues on the agenda so that the board could have a discussion about that. And we went back and listened to the recording again to make sure that there was nothing else, and that's all he said.
Okay.
Mr. Knight,
Sheriff, could I suggest that you assign staff to talk to Mr. McElfrain so that they may be able to inform Ms. Hicks what needs to be done?
okay. Staff, will you please reach out and communicate between the AG's office and Mr. McElfrain about the issues so that we can have a clear discussion at the next meeting?
You bet. Is that allowed, ma'am? Is that all right, Ms. Hicks?
That's fine. Deb, what I would just request is if you can find out from him specifically,
But yes.
kind of the scope of what he would like to discuss. I will just take that and conduct research that I can present at the next meeting, or pull my other attorney in and make him available for y'all. But as long as he's just telling you some specificity and then you direct it to me, and then I'll present all the information to the board when we're all together again. I think that's fine.
You bet. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
And we can make the agenda item more specific to them.
Okay. Should we vote on the postpone?
Yes.
We did?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so that concludes that item, right?
Chair Krantz?
Yes.
Great. Sorry, Frank. Tell me how to say your last name.
Krantz.
Krantz. Okay.
There you go.
One suggestion I had for action items 3 and 4 regarding the approval of the redistricting. It does indicate that if the board approves the change in the boundaries, that there has to be a new certificate issued from the Secretary of State's office. So under those 2 action items, given the outcome, there may need to be a motion for direction for Deb to take the actions to file the necessary documentation with the Secretary of State's office so that new certificates of organization can be issued as a result of the board's approval of those mergers.
So can they revisit number 3 and 4 and do that?
Yes, and I'm sorry I didn't bring it up sooner. I was just waiting till the end, but essentially what we would be looking for is a motion to direct the administrative director to file the appropriate documentation with the Secretary of State's office, given the reorganization and merger of the 2 separate proposed district changes, Triangle and Wickenburg, and then Winkleman and East Maricopa. Sorry, that was a little bit wordy, but just direction from the board for Deb to take the necessary step to file the documentation with the Secretary of State's office.
All right. I'll entertain a motion.
So be.
Mr. Martinez makes motion to approve, to direct the administrator to file proper paperwork with the Secretary of State for the reorg of the new districts. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Mr. Grady. Any other discussion?
Just one thing, this, do you have a direct boundary on the Winkleman? I mean, it's exact along roads or something, so it's easily definable.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was defined GIS.
Okay, because they gotta have that.
Yep.
Acreage.
Yeah, we have the shape files and we'll be sharing them with all the partners of the districts as well.
Thank you so much.
Good. Anybody else have anything to discuss? You good on the wording?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Move to the vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say nay. The ayes have it. Thank you, Ms. Hicks, for bringing that to the attention and clearing that up. Okay, the next item that we are going down to is I believe we're down here at proposed 26 quarterly board meeting.
Well,
schedule.
It's I, future agenda items.
Okay, so we're going to I of consideration, discussion, and possible action. I erase both. Skip. So item I is consideration, discussion, and possible action to approve future items.
So I have to apologize to the board. When I was copying down, it picked up the title, consideration, discussion, and possible action to each one of the other agenda items. I apologize. It doesn't affect your actions. You can do it, but that language wasn't necessary. It should read future agenda items. So I apologize, but it quite frequently tries to make me better. The computer does. And so, okay.
Okay, so at this point, I have a couple future agenda items that came out of today's meeting was the MOU with ACC. So that will be on there, wording at your
That
discretion.
would be a subcommittee report. According to what Ms. Hicks said.
Yes, and possible action.
And
So,
possible action.
right.
Yeah,
So we'll
it's
get-
however they want to word the
Yeah.
direction for that. It was just the key takeaway. And then the water rights, I have a possible two-parter, one as the original presentation and then one as underneath the AG office report. So those two items can come up at your at staff's discretion on how that wants to be presented in the future.
Yes.
Does anybody else have any other items at now that they would like to bring forward to the next meeting in April?
The other item that will be on the agenda is the draft administrative policy that the committee will be working on. And so that will be on there. But sometimes agenda items end up on there that are not, identified here. But I just wanted to let you all know that that committee will be meeting and drafting a report for you all and a possible action on it as well.
Oh, no, we're still got time. Okay. Yes, Ms. Hicks.
I have a suggestion. I do believe we'll be receiving the last quarterly distribution in April, hopefully before our scheduled meeting. So I would recommend an action item to approve the distribution of those funds. And I also wanted to make sure, in terms of the motion that was made earlier for Deb to distribute the appropriated funds that we now have in the account, Deb, are you clear on the amount of money being distributed to each district? Or
Yes, ma'am.
you are? Okay.
Yes.
And is it just equal across the board?
Yes, ma'am. This time around, that's what they've basically told me to do. It's just based on the final number of tribal districts that are legal in the system. And I know you saw that email go through with ADOA and Central Service. They're trying to figure out the policy on how to add a tribal district if they don't have an EIN. Because it's required in the state system that you have an EIN to put on a W-9. And some of the districts are saying they don't have one. So we're trying to figure that out. But if they don't have one, we have to move forward and pay people.
So are you going to basically divide all the money up between all the existing districts, distribute to the ones that are complete through ADOA, and then just hold the rest until the other districts are in the system?
If they can become part of the system, yes, but I can always, and then I can report back in April, and then they can decide what to do if the districts can't, if they can't establish themselves prior to the end of June, then they can distribute the money to the rest of the districts that are established. Because some of the travel districts may not be able to become to get an EIN and everything, to get all of the money distributed by the end of the fiscal year, so. But
Okay.
yes, I do understand what they were telling me to do.
Okay. I just want to make sure that once we get off this meeting that you feel comfortable moving the money, because I think the districts are ready.
Yes, ma'am, they are.
I just wanna make
And we
sure
really
there's no
appreciate
barriers.
Yeah, we appreciate you getting the money for us. Thank you.
Okay, so it's clear to the board and it's clear to you what actions need to be taken with the money that has now been appropriated, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
So you got those items? Okay, and as always, if you guys have anything else you want to bring to the attention, bring it to staff and we'll try to put it on the next meeting. Next item is approval of the 26th quarterly board meeting schedule. I'll entertain a motion to approve the schedule 2026 schedule meetings.
So move.
Mr. Dunn makes motion. I hear a second. Mr. Knight seconds. Ms. Smith.
I just, those dates were just based on how you have been consistently holding your meetings, the last few times. Because I am required to turn in a calendar. And so I just needed to turn that calendar in. And then, of course, there will be committee meetings. And then you also can, of course, at any time call for, another meeting if you need to, but just to let you know that those are the statutory required for the calendar. That's why I have them listed the way I did.
But they can,
Mr. Grady.
they can shift a day or two,
Yes, that's part of this, the recommended,
right?
accommodate statutory deadlines, member availability, or operational needs. So if you find out you're not gonna have a quorum, you can move the meeting.
We could do.
The only other thing is if somebody would want to make amended to include meetings at 1. Ms. Tatum, is 1 o'clock good for you? Okay. I would like us to maintain this schedule. It gets everybody that has first thing work at the state offices and federal offices out of their way so they can get that hashed out and then they come to lunch over here. So I like 1 o'clock. I would entertain a motion of that or something else to include meetings to be held at 1 p.m. Does anybody else have any discussion or anything of that?
Need a motion or can we just say?
I think you can correct that. can't you? Or
Where-
have staff just set it up. I don't know.
Do we have any idea
Well, we don't.
where the meetings will be?
Or operational needs, so it all depends on what works out best for everybody.
Availability.
Okay, so any other discussion? Okay, hearing none, move to approve the motion of those next meetings for 2026 board meeting schedule. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Frank, I'm sorry. Was there a motion?
Yes, we had a motion. Who had the motion?
I just,
And are
Dunn and Grandy.
we amending to add the time?
No.
No, we did not.
Okay. Perfect.
So we're just voting on the original motion of the 4 quarterly meetings for 2026.
Perfect.
So we had the ayes, and then anybody opposed, say nay. Okay, the ayes have it. Okay, that's the other thing that continued on, so that's not there, correct?
Well, what I need from the board, we need to schedule, the subcommittee meetings here so that I can publish them publicly. So I need a committee meeting date for the, policy committee and one for the, now MOU committee.
Do you guys on the MOU want to have a date you guys want to throw out?
And it'll be virtual. It'll be a virtual meeting.
Oh. See that? Probably the sooner the better, huh? Because
Yes, sir. The week of February 9th is a very good week.
very good week.
Just throwing it out there. It
I
is
wonder
a
about
good
Miss
week.
Hicks.
Yes, Miss Hicks. Is that a good week? She's nodding her head yes.
Yes. You guys pick your time and I'll be available.
You are awesome.
Okay. I will throw out policy meeting February 10th. Let's do it at 1.
Perfect.
That's what, that's a policy meeting?
Yeah.
Who's on that?
Claudette, me, Paul. I think there's one more.
Oh,
Sadie.
Sadie. Sadie's on.
Yeah. Okay, you guys, does the MOU subcommittee have a date?
That week could be perfect. Could be the 9th or the 11th.
No, 11th's out for me. That's my quarterly meeting.
You guys can do it on the 10th earlier too, or later. I mean, I would imagine a committee meeting should run an hour.
Well, Miss Hicks gotta be each meeting.
I understand, that's why I said
Oh,
before or after. Try to get it in time before 9. If you want to do it on the 10th
We
in
can
the
do it on
morning.
the 10th at 11 to noon, have lunch from noon to 1 and then your meeting.
Because Ms. Hicks doesn't have to sit all,
Yeah,
Does
no,
she-
she has to be at all of our public meetings, and that's a public meeting.
okay, Ms. Hicks, did you hear that? The 10th of February at 11 for the MOU and then like at 1 for the policy committee?
So do you want to have it in person and we meet and have lunch and talk, or you want to do,
I need.
you want to do virtual, right?
That'd be
Okay,
virtual.
when you said lunch, I wasn't sure. I just want to make sure I knew what I was doing.
Virtual.
Virtual, right. Gotcha. Okay. I just want to
That
make
all
sure I
sounds
knew.
fine.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, do we need a vote on that or is that a committee formation?
Just a choosing of dates.
Just
Yeah, do they
choosing,
need to vote on
You're
those dates?
okay.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Okay, is there any other subcommittee meetings that we have to form out? There's just those 2, correct?
Just those 2, and then at the end of those, if they want to set the next date, then they can at that time, after they see how far they get and what things look like and what they want to do next.
What time's the MOU meeting?
11.
11.
So both of them are on February 10th.
Yeah.
One at 11 and one at 1.
Correct.
Virtual, and we'll send out.
Virtual. I will send out all of the notifications, agenda, etc.
Very good.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, good. Good. So then the next item is the executive session. We have a point to discuss on this.
Mr. Dunn,
Okay,
Do you want to enter into executive session? You need to make a motion. to-
we move into executive session
All right, I got it.
for legal advice.
for legal advice. Yes.
Okay, do I hear a second?
Second.
Mr. Martinez, moves and second. Okay, so at this time, everybody, anybody in the public, I'm gonna have to ask you to step away from right now, so it's just the board member and staff. So we can discuss some legal issues with the AG's office. How do we respond back to them to enter back in?
Well, the only thing that will happen when you enter back in is if you make a motion based on your discussions and then adjourn. So if they want to come back in, they can indicate here now and I can text those individuals that are on here.
So it's Florence and Coolidge and Rose is Lockwood.
Yeah, that's
I think it's
Coconino.
the same. Okay.
Coconino and Lawrence Coolidge.
So if you guys would like to come in after our executive session ends, please raise your hand right now so that we can contact you when this concludes. If not, thank you. If not, I'm going to have to ask you guys to step off, and thank you for attending. Yes, Rose, you want to be contacted when we conclude, or are you signing off?
I'm signing off. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
Okay, executive session now begins at